Yeah. Central European time. Master race. Master time. Whatever. That doesn't matter, because we're here now with game number 1 for the Gold League of the Empire Collective Cup. This is a round 2 game between VNS SeOul and Vinchester, the mighty Russian titan and the very awesome Vietnamese superstar of AOC. These guys, of course, having a pretty early game here. It's 8:30 GMT in the morning. It's 9:30 in the UK. It's 10:30 seemingly for everyone else in the world ever, according to the chat anyway. And yeah, I mean, we're going to get this set underway. Betting is open, by the way. You've got a couple of minutes to get your bets in, and I'm going to talk about this first because we've not got long before the bets will close. If you want to bet on this game, !bet followed by option A, B, C, D, or E, and the number of florins you would like to bet. Option A is 3-0 to SeOul, and option E is 3-0 to Vinchester, with everything else in between. You can see all the info in the chat, and I'll be closing the betting in just a minute. So up to the north of the map, in that hot pink, we've got Vinchester, fresh as a daisy this morning, literally just logging on to play these games. I guess it's like 11 in Russia right now, and he's playing as the Mongols up in the north. No surprises there, since game 1 disallows the standard big four, the Vikings, Mayans, Aztecs, and the Huns. Down to the south of the map, in the blue, we've got SeOul, VNS SeOul, or Seoul.kr, or _kr. He's in the blue, and he's playing as the Mongols as well. And off to a pretty rocky start here, as Vinchester comes in and starts to lame this ball. What a great start for him. And fortunately, finding some of his own resources back at home as well, so he doesn't end up high and dry without any sheep under his TC. Cough. Juan. Cough. He's also managed to nab off with one of SeOul's sheep as well. So SeOul off to a pretty awkward start here as we jump into G1. Worth pointing out, this map is Knolls. This is a map made by Carlos Ferdinand, I do believe, and this was made for a map pack contest thing, and I like this map. This map was in the Out of Sync Cup a while back as well. I picked this one up, and I like this map a lot because it's like Arabia crossed with not Arabia. No, it's just a nice map. It's really open. It favors a lot of aggression, I feel. You know, the standard resources are there, but you have a few more berries, not that that really matters. And I just think it's a nice, pretty map. There's very little elevation as well, so it's unlikely that one person is going to get really unlucky with their map generation and end up at the bottom of a massive hill like you sometimes see in Arabia. And, you know, I think I just like this map. I like this map a lot. Now, SeOul, he could have called for a restart here. He can call for a restart up to 5 minutes in game time, but he has not. He has gone past that 5 minutes mark, and he is happy to play on, perhaps saving his restart for a game later on in this matchup, in this set. But yeah, like I say, both of them playing as the Mongols. Vinchester off to a pretty solid start here. He's going to have 3 boar, and you know, when you steal a boar, that's big deal. But when you steal a boar as the Mongols, that is huge, and we'll keep a quick eye now on the food income of these players. Surprisingly, SeOul is ahead, or temporarily was, but Vinchester, as soon as his 3rd ball comes in, his food is gonna skyrocket. So we'll keep a close eye on that, and probably expect to see him do a good old scout rush, which the Mongols are so infamous for. All right, well, bets are closed, and Ivik, I nipped you there. I got that bet close in. Get shreked. Yeah, bets are closed, and if you bet on this game, good luck to you. The options then, let's see, the favorite here, the most common option that people bet on was 3-1 to Vinchester. That's the most favored outcome of this game. And then the second most favored outcome is a draw, and then it's 3-1 to SeOul. So the I guess you could say, based on public opinion, a 3-1 victory to Vinchester is likely. But you guys, I don't know. Can we trust you guys' opinions here? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But honestly, you know, both these guys are great players. Vinchester has played in, you know, in what was it called? There was a tournament longer back, Clash of the Titans, where he did really, really well and surprised a lot of people. That was one of his big tournaments where he knocked out a couple of really big players. I think he knocked out VNS Yellow in that tournament, which is huge. And as you know, VNS Yellow is up in the top league here, this one. So, you know, Vinchester, he's a young player, but he has come on leaps and bounds in the last couple of years, and especially in Clash of the Titans, where he really made a mark in the AOC scene. And of course, SeOul as well. Perhaps a player you don't see too much of on this channel or from me, but in the VNSA team for the Nations Cup, certainly a very solid player as well. Now, obviously, SeOul here, a little slower to the feudal age, and he's taken some gold now at this gold mine, indicating that he's planning on making some militia, maybe even going into some man-at-arms once he gets to the feudal age. I mean, we'll have to wait and see, but he could be planning on doing something along those lines. But his food is really, really short at the moment. He's going to go into an archery range instead, and that makes so much more sense considering that he's down a boar and his opponent is up a boar. Obviously, in this situation, Vinchester's big advantage is that he's got a lot more food in the bank. Just look at that. There's about 600, 700, maybe even more than that extra food in Vinchester's coffers, which allows him to do a fantastic scout rush. And if you have a quick look at his village account right now, 22 villagers, and he's already up to the feudal age with 2 scouts out and more being queued up. Now, this is really strong for Vinchester because archers at the early feudal age are pretty weak to scouts. You know, a scout will absolutely obliterate an archer, and if you've got 3 or 4 scouts out, which you can do pretty quickly, pretty easily, these archers are going to be really, really out of their depth if they end up fighting toe-to-toe, and so obviously, SeOul here having to bring out some spears as well. Vinchester sitting back with his 4 scouts here. He's going to be making a 5th, and he's going to be making a 6th. He's probably going to take full control of the situation and add a few more scouts as well, because, you know, a strong scout rush can set yourself up so well if you can do some good eco harassment and prevent your opponent from getting too many archers out. And obviously, if you can prevent those archers from even getting to a critical mass, as it likes to be called, you can do a lot of damage there. Vinchester going to be fine. This villager getting into a little scuffle with SeOul's scout as well. But the nice advantage for this is that SeOul really can't afford to go and counter-attack here. You know, if he leaves his base open to attack, he could be in a really, really bad position, and he's starting to kind of wall it up now, and until those walls are completely up and until he's feeling a little safer behind here, he can't realistically go out with these archers. They could get caught out on the way to Vinchester's base and they could be in a lot of trouble. But obviously, SeOul with about 3 spears out at the moment, and we're expecting that he'll maybe have to add some more as well if Vinchester goes for Bloodlines. And to be honest with you, I think Bloodlines is going to be fairly likely, considering how many scouts Vinchester has made here. He's got 5 out on the front, he's got 2 back at home. That certainly makes Bloodlines worth it. And when your opponent's got a few spears out, Bloodlines just allows you to kill the spears without taking quite as much damage. Well, you still take a lot of damage, obviously, but it gives you the opportunity to kill those spears a little easier. He's going to go for it even without Bloodlines anyway, losing a single scout cavalry there and kind of coming around to the backside of SeOul's base. But SeOul's done a pretty good job walling this up towards the back of the map here. Vinchester going to slip inside anyway. Find that villager there because she's low. Easy pickings. Taking very little damage from that TC. And then moving around to the back of the map to probably go and hit that wood line, which of course he can see through the fog of war. He's very well aware of what's going on. So SeOul actually sending out a few of these archers now. And I'm kind of surprised at that. I'm surprised he's willing to just go out and try and do that counterattack now. He's probably feeling pretty comfortable in his ability to defend with these couple of spears, but he's going to end up running into a couple more scouts anyway. Thankfully for SeOul, he took a spearman with him, and that saved his ass so much there. If that spearman hadn't been there, a couple of these archers probably would have gone down very quickly. But Vinchester with a very quick wall here, not much health on these houses, and Vinch trying to get his blacksmith up, gonna lose a villager, might lose another as well, and 2 down. SeOul, a fantastic little counterattack there. I think almost fairly ballsy to do that. Obviously, you know, confident in his ability to defend himself, and that definitely paid off. Now, like I say, I'm pretty happy with the way he's walled this up. He's done a really good job, and even though he's got this forward gold, he's making the best of a pretty awkward situation. Thing is, Vinchester's got fletching as well as SeOul, that is, and he's making a few skirms back in here, so this should be easy pickings for Vinchester, and although SeOul's managed to get 2 villagers so far, I don't think he's going to be getting too many more. And yeah, spectator dashboard on and off all over the place. I have to toggle the graphs. I don't like the graphs being up all the time. But yeah, SeOul's going to get trapped back here. There's no way he can run to. These scouts are going to come in and bait this away, or bait these arrows out of these guys. And obviously the skirms can finish the job. Wheelbarrow coming in for SeOul right now. And Vinchester looking really good on the food at the moment. And like I said, that extra food at the start of the game just going to stay with him, keep him ahead in the food count for pretty much the rest of it. Just look at the difference right here. The food count for Vinchester, almost 1,000 more than SeOul at this stage of the game, which is really good for him. And as a result, once Wheelbarrows come in for Vinchester, he's going to be clicking up to the Castle Age. For SeOul, well, he's not too far away. Bear in mind, he went straight into archers, didn't make any scouts this game at all, so he's not spent quite as much food on military, but Vinchester should definitely be reaching the Castle Age first. He's already got the resources available, and obviously once he gets to Castle, as the Mongols here, he's going to be looking to do crossbows from there, and well, we'll see how that goes. He's just still doing, seemed like he was still doing a few more skirms. He has still got a good bunch of skirms out, so might go for elite skirmisher, and to be honest with you, it might be worth considering. He's got a few out already. If he keeps making a few skirms, then he's going to have the hard counter to what SeOul is going for here. And, you know, you can expect that SeOul will go pure archers into crossbow anyway. So perhaps just making a few more skirms while he's still in the feudal age could certainly pay off. And I mean, they're already kind of paying off anyway, since these archers here are getting chased away and dying pretty horribly. But yeah, Vinchester, great position at the moment. Castle Age coming in for SeOul now as well, and he's about a whole minute behind, about, you know, 50 seconds behind, which isn't too bad considering his situation. Like I say, it's mostly because SeOul hasn't actually really spent any food on military. He's spent a little bit of food on those spears, but nowhere near the amount of food that Vinchester sunk into those scouts. And for Vinchester, I don't think those scouts were that effective. They found 1 villager. I don't know if they found much more than that. So at the moment, looking at the villager count, I'll have a quick look. SeOul is actually 1 villager ahead, and that makes sense considering SeOul killed 2 inside of Vinchester's base. So yeah, I mean, I think overall fairly close at the moment, and Vinchester here just a couple more kills to his name as he counters those archers with his skirms. But yeah, at the moment, like I say, very close. Vinchester here going up on 2 archery ranges, and SeOul seemingly looking like he wants to get very aggressive, looking like he wants to play off of 1 TC here. He's doing 3 ranges, and he's going to go really, I think, all out into this aggression here, and try and really hit Vinchester hard. On the left side, Vinchester's going down a different route altogether, adding in his 2nd TC straight away. And back at his archery ranges, we're not seeing crossbow just yet. I imagine we'll see that up. There it is. Doing crossbow and doing bodkin arrow. But yeah, I mean, just 2 archery ranges versus a 3, and instead he's doing the 2nd TC. SeOul, meanwhile, well, I mean, we could still see a 2nd TC out from him. He has got quite a bit of wood, but he might opt instead for a siege workshop. He might opt for a university. But no, he's going to go for the TC, and he's going to be a little more cautious. He's not going to go all in on this aggression, but with 3 archery ranges up, we can certainly expect to see a little bit more military production from SeOul, and he does have 2 extra units on the map at the moment. But to be honest with you guys, it's still very, very, very close at this stage. Thank you very much. It's Brittany B. It's Brittany B, guys. It's Brittany B. Thank you very much for subscribing. Much appreciated. And welcome to the Walleye Warlords. You will be very, very welcomed here. Let's see those Walleye hypes in the chat, guys. So there you go. Vinchester on the right side coming into this wood line. 1 villager down. SeOul just going to continue with his attack, though. He's not going to worry himself too much about these rogue crossbows on the right side. He knows that 1 villager down isn't the end of the world. He can go and find some villagers from Vinchester and level these scores very, very quickly. This map is Autumn Knolls, by the way, for those of you just tuning in, because it's not a common map. It's not a map that's seen very often. Rarely is this map used in tournaments, but I like it, so I figured, hey, you know what? I like it. Let's do it. So SeOul working his way in, and he's going to get his way right inside this wall here. There wasn't a hole, but SeOul made a hole, and that means that there is always a hole. He's going to try and take this hill. He's going to fight these skirms and make a very, very quick job of it. He's actually prioritizing killing, well, it seemed like he was prioritizing killing crossbows, like he should, by the way. You'll notice this. I mean, he's face-to-face, toe-to-toe with skirmishers, yet he's microing these crossbows to attack these crossbows from Vinchester at the back. Why is he doing that? Well, crossbows are more expensive, they're more valuable. So even though those skirms are right in the front there, he was trying to kill the crossbows at the back first, finished off the skirms anyway, and then killed a bunch of villagers as well. This is a great aggression, a great attack from SeOul here. He's still got the hill, and it looks like he might just be able to take this army down with that hill advantage, but not this time. Vinchester with a couple of units on the right side closing in, and a little bit of micro from Vinch as well there. SeOul attempting to maybe get 1 more villager kill before that fight was over, but Vinchester kept the dream alive, and he saved a few more villagers there with his quick response to that aggression. Now, I've got to say, that was a really nice wall off there. You might be wondering, what the hell's going on? Why is he throwing up like 5 houses in a row, 6 houses in a row here, and then deleting them? Well, I mean, he actually trapped SeOul in there, really. I mean, SeOul's option was to either go away and leave him, which is obviously what Vinchester would have liked, or it was to stay here, because if he'd have come further forwards, this TC would have killed him. If he'd have gone back, this TC would have killed him. And by blocking this area, by building this line of houses, he stopped SeOul coming into the back and escaping his armies. He forced SeOul to fight there. Even though it was an uphill fight for Vinch, it was a good one to take, and it stopped SeOul getting into the back of his eco and killing more villagers. So damage control from Vinch there. But as expected, SeOul here has got the military advantage. He's got 10 extra units on the map right now, and is that surprising? Well, no, he does still have an extra archery range out, and obviously Vinchester here is not utilizing this stable, so SeOul's looking really strong at the moment, actually, and if he keeps microing well and winning these fights on the front, it could be huge. At the moment, Siege Workshop from Vinch coming up. He's also delayed that 3rd TC a little bit here. Oh wait, sorry, he's not delayed it. It's right here on the right side. What am I talking about? It's obviously right there. But yeah, at the moment, Vinchester can't really fight this. He's not wanting to suicide those crossbows onto SeOul's crossbows here as well, because he's out-teched, he's not got +2 defense, and he's outnumbered as well. So he's a little bit cautious here, bringing the crossbows inside of his walls and making a mangonel on this left side, but losing more villagers as SeOul just manages to pick them off, and SeOul coming in as well, and it's like, well, why not? He's got good map control right now. SeOul's feeling comfortable. He's got Vinchester pinned inside of his walls, and as a result, SeOul here, Siege Workshop coming forwards, getting that forward aggression going, and that's the kind of thing we like to see. Worth noting, SeOul just putting up his 3rd TC now, which is pretty delayed compared to Vinchester. As a result, he is 5 villagers down, but this aggression from SeOul could really, really work, and pay off as well. Thank you very much to Red Soilder. I read that as soldier at first, like, wait a minute. Thank you very much, Red Soilder, for subscribing. Much appreciated, and welcome. Welcome to the Wallow Warlords. Much appreciated, man. Oh, this is nice. SeOul as well, hitting that wood line, disrupting these villages, not killing any of them yet. And I think that's probably because SeOul does not have a university. He does not have ballistics out. This could be huge. SeOul gonna get the jump on Vinchester's army there. Vinchester gonna go back, not feeling too comfortable microing against this Mangonel. One mango down for Vinch, and with that, SeOul secured himself a really nice advantage here, because he can now start attacking this TC. He can push Vinchester around a bit, and Vinchester, he has to keep Mangonel production going. If he stops making Mangonels now, you see he's queued up 3, look, he's queued up 3. But if he stops, making Mangonels, he's going to be in a whole world of trouble. Vincher, a good play, moving in right close to that Mangonel. He's going to micro his units to stay right on its heels, and SeOul, a little bit of a misplay there, moving this Mangonel out. Seemingly very strange. I don't really know why he moved it out to this right side. SeOul needs to attack ground. There you go. That wasn't too bad. One more shot here, and it could be huge. Vinch going to go back, getting out the way, flitting in and out of range. A nice split for him as well, as he tries to take this mango down. It's going to fall by the looks of things, but just at the last second, the villagers come in to repair, and Vinchester has to back off. My God, if he had one more crossbow here, that Mangonel would have been toast. Instead, it's sitting at 50 HP, but oh man, these crossbows are coming in again. At the same time, we got a little mango war on the left side. Vinchester's a little outnumbered there, though, 2-1, as he brings in one on the left side and gets a 2-for-2 trade in the end. On the right side, though, these crossbows just, yeah, the micro's not quite there. It's too much for Vinchester to handle this early in the day, and SeOul gonna keep his advantage for the time being. But Vinchester retaking that score lead as SeOul down at the south of the map builds his 4th TC. 5th, sorry, not 5th TC, castle even, coming up on the front. So Vinchester now on 3 TCs with a castle coming up in his economy. SeOul on 4 TCs with a castle coming up on the front. And it's surprising how close these guys are together at this stage. Good micro by Vinch. He's going to keep that Mangonel alive and probably bring some repairs in for that as well. So well defended so far. And what looks like a fantastic position from SeOul is suddenly looking like Vinchester is regained control of the situation. And both of them now clicking up to the Imperial Age with just, what's that, like... I can't see the timings. There we go. 35.49 for SeOul and 35.56 for Vinchester. So 7 seconds different. And that's insane. That's insane. 7 seconds different up to the Imperial Age. Both of them building a castle at nearly identical times. And the village account for both very similar as well. Because even though Vinchester's been on 3 TCs, SeOul actually behind in villages, but I think he's going to overtake things fairly soon. But I think at the moment SeOul's feeling pretty good, and that's mostly going to be down to the fact that he is still keeping good map control. He's still keeping Vinchester kind of, you know, walled up and really defensive, and oftentimes being the aggressor can be really favored in Age of Empires 2. Vinch, though, coming out on the right side with the stable, and as the Mongols, of course, we can expect to see some light cavalry coming in. He's got bloodlines on the way. Both of these guys doing a lot of techs right now. SeOul doing mostly economy techs, whereas Vinchester's really upgrading his light cavalry. He's doing bloodlines, he's doing forging, he's doing light cavalry now, and I think his plan here is to, although he will make some Mangadai, he doesn't quite have enough castles out yet. He's going to look for a second castle soon. But I think his plan is, with this aggression on the right side, actually get some light cavalry into SeOul's eco here. But SeOul, wow, he's like scouting around with this spearman, and he just happens to run into these villagers here, which is kind of, well, unexpected, to say the least. He's going to be well aware of this now, and he's actually sending his army out here already. Really, really lucky play from SeOul, to say the least. Obviously, you know, he's got great map visibility. He's been exploring around. I don't know if that guy there, that spear, was actually just patrolling or what, but he bumped into these stables, and he sees this coming now, so he's going to be aware that, hey, I need to wall up, and I'm probably going to have some light cavalry on me very soon. Now, SeOul's position here doesn't show like doesn't look like he's going to be aiming to do any light cavalry at all for now. As the game goes on, of course, light cavalry will become more and more important as gold starts to get low and things like that. But SeOul, with his second castle up on the front, it's pretty obvious what he's going for as Parthian tactics and chemistry comes in, and we can pretty much expect SeOul here to be going full Mangudai, which is going to be very, very, very strong. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. Against light cavalry, Mangudai going to be very strong, of course, and honestly, I'm not sure if Vinchester, I don't know, I mean, he was just trying to catch SeOul off guard there. But at the moment, he's not been able to push out and do much damage. And with these two castles on the front, could be a real pain to push in here. He could find stuff on the left side, though. Actually, he's going over to this gold, which is really nice. And he's going to find those vills, which is really great. And push SeOul away from that. It's about time he got some counterattacks in or something along those lines. Thank you very much, Matty Moo, by the way, Matty Moo, for subscribing, becoming a warlord. Much appreciated as ever, as always. Welcome. Welcome to the club. You'll fit right in. Oh, wow, there's a lot of dead villagers for SeOul there. Moving more out to take the gold, and just, bad timing for him as those light cavalry come in and cause some devastation. Not so good. These Mangudai, at the moment, missing a few upgrades. No elite upgrade yet, and yeah, those light cabs are just getting away with murder at the moment, aren't they? They're getting away with absolute murder. Just come on. They're so good right now with all that extra health. And whoa, on this right side as well, Vinch coming in here with his light cabs, getting out of this stable. Delete your stable, Vinch. You can do it. Delete the stable. You can surround these guys. But no, he's a little outnumbered here anyway. Those crossbows packing a real punch, and those light cavalry unable to keep the aggression on, dying out very quickly there. Castle on the right side coming up for Vinch. That's his third. And it looks like he's now getting ready to switch a little bit more heavily into Mangudai, which could be very, very good. SeOul, castle coming up somewhere else as well on this right side. Perhaps looking to secure these two gold spots, very wisely doing that. And Vinchester here really slowing his Mangudai upgrades. Just look at the difference here. We got 4-4 for SeOul, and for Vinchester we got 3-1. That's a really big difference, but obviously Vinch, with his light cavalry, with his sheer numbers, actually looking really very strong at the moment. Getting those upgrades now on the Mangudai as, I don't know, his economy is really solid. He's got 126 villagers. He delayed doing the Mangudai upgrades in favor of trying to get the jump on SeOul with the light calves. It kind of worked on the left side. If SeOul hadn't seen these stables, it could have been even worse. And Vinch now he's got this stronger eco, might be able to really pull ahead in not only just military production, but getting those techs in as well. But Elite Mangudai now coming in for SeOul. He's also now doing light cavalry, and that could be pretty scary. Obviously, once Elite Mangudai gets done or finishes up, these guys are going to do so much damage. They're going to come into this wood line here. They're going to find so many villagers. They fire so insanely fast. Just villagers going down all over the place. And Vinchester's insanely strong economy just suddenly well, it melts away if you can't protect it. So a few villagers down on that wood line there. Elite Mangudai done for SeOul. I mean, they're pretty much fully upgraded now, I believe. But Vinchester not far behind. Elite Mangudai himself, and he's pretty much fully upgraded also. So it didn't take him long to catch up, but his economy is now feeling the heat a little bit as 4 more villagers go down in this wood line there, and getting really disrupted, which is obviously less than ideal. It's worth noting that the wood on this map is really kind of itty-bitty. It's all over the place, and SeOul with some fantastic raiding up in the north of the map. He's finding so many villagers in here as they try and run to the TEC, but they're just dying all over the place. Wow, Vinchester here losing so much in that little fight. Well, not even a little fight, just in that little massacre, little eco raid. And SeOul probably going to lose his Mangudai if he can't get out of this little corner here. So obviously well trapped by Vinch, but still fighting downhill, and maybe going to inflict a good bit of damage anyway, focusing on the Mangudai rather than the light cavalry. So SeOul really doing very, very well. Starting to upgrade now, or finished upgrading Hussar. Obviously a little bit behind on the upgrades for defense, but other than that, SeOul looks really solid, and he's managed to not only just keep map control throughout this whole game, but now he's obviously got the tech advantage as well. He's really going to start pushing that. Vinch right in the corner of the map building this TC. Obviously the gold on this map as well, there's a lot of it, but it's very spread out. It's very, you know, 2 piles of gold here and there. Like I said, there's plenty of it, but you've got to, it's hard to protect the gold. I like that about this map. It forces players to expand away from their TC, makes raiding really very strong, and of all the civs you could get on this map, I think Mongol is probably the best when you take into consideration that the Huns, Mongols, Huns, Mayans, Aztecs, and Vikings were banned, so really good stuff. So although a little bit outnumbered here, even though he's got 45 military versus Vinch's 25, it's like this army is going to get absolutely cut to pieces. Vinchester keeping his armies together, grouped up, as SeOul seems to be looking to, I don't know, kind of hit and run maybe, or just kind of split up and split push. But he's coming out with a really nice looking army on this right side. Bunch of Magadai, bunch of Hussar, and he's starting to get those rams upgraded as well. So capped ram train coming forwards. It looks like he's going to push this castle right about now. And the thing is here, Magadai are really strong against rams. But in order for Vinchester to try and focus on the rams here, he'd have to ignore SeOul's Magadai, and he'd end up losing a lot. So this is kind of awkward for Vinch here. There's a lot of Hussar coming in for SeOul as well. Fully upgraded now on the defense with 120 HP. Gonna be pretty tough fight. And Vinchester here, well, he's got the Magadai nearby, but he's a little outnumbered. The Rams here, of course, gonna tear through this castle. He could have stood and fight and focused down the Rams, but like I say, he would have lost most of his Magadai to the Magadai of SeOul. SeOul knows he's got the advantage. He's chasing these units down, and well, SeOul's going to take down these siege units as well. If he takes down that Treb, that's going to be huge. That trebuchet is not cheap, but it looks like for now the Treb will stay up, and Vinch once again will just about be able to defend by the skin of his teeth. But SeOul is all over the place right now. He's killing villagers on this gold spot on the left side. He's coming in right here onto this TC. No real defense here. Vinch having to attack with villagers. This TC going to take a bit of a beating, and as a result, SeOul's looking great. He's taking down this forward here on the right side. Villagers out and about, taking the extra resources. I don't know if he's found this TC yet. He's not scouted that, but it looks like he's heading out that way. I see a gather point over here. So SeOul at the moment looks like he's in a fantastic position. He's not really focusing on keeping his army as close together as Vinch. And as a result, although Vinchester seems really menacing with all these Magadai and his Hussar, although he looks menacing, SeOul is coming in on all sides, finding so many villagers all over the place, denying this castle from going up. Vinch right now down to 106 vills, so he's still kept his villager population pretty high actually. But SeOul dominating in the military, and with these Magadai making it right to the back of the map, I don't imagine that we'll see too much of a villager advantage for Vinch after this fight. I mean, well, it's going to end pretty badly, I think, for Vinch this game. It's not looking too strong at the moment. But hey, everything can turn around. So much can change. So SeOul at the moment, a lot more stables coming up, and both of those guys have really little gold, very little gold for both of them. And you know, SeOul has spent a lot of gold on rams here. He's obviously made quite a few Magadai as well. Having a look at the actual gold income of the players overall, you'll see that gold is quite a way in favor of SeOul here. He's gained about 2,000 extra gold over the course of the game, so that's obviously going to have quite a big impact. Oh dear, these rams on the right side going to get taken out by the looks of things. There's a Mangonel here, the Magadai are also here, so rams taking a very quick beating. This Treb will go down though. Magadai are just fantastic at that, just getting in range of the Treb and taking it down and running away again. Really well done. And on this left side, SeOul is still keeping this aggression on. Vinchester unable to hold this left side down. He keeps trying to build this castle here. He keeps trying it over and over again, and every time he goes to build that castle, SeOul, hanging around with the Hussar, manages to pick those villagers off. Now, this map, like I say, it's a very flat map. There's little hills here and there that you could argue might be worth taking, but as it stands, as it is, most fights are going to be on flat land, so it's really going to come down to just numbers at this stage of the game. You know, it's going to come down to who has the most numbers, who has the best upgrades, and considering both of them are evenly upgraded, it really does just come down to numbers now. And SeOul really far ahead. He's got almost double the military, which is why he's you know, able to do this. It's why he's able to do this kind of split push and keep Vinchester on his toes, keep Vinchester running away. You know, SeOul baiting half of Vinchester's army on this right side, well, all of his army even on this right side. On the left side, he's pushing in, and Vinchester has no army here to deal with this. This castle, once again, denied. I mean, how many villagers have died on this castle? I don't know. Unreal number of villagers going down there. And a great game for SeOul, as Vinchester calls GG. That was a really solid game for SeOul, actually, considering he got off to a pretty bad start with the steal of his boar, like his stolen boar. He got off to a good start. I mean, he defended well from that early scout rush with a few spears. His counterattack was fairly ballsy, but he made it work. He killed some villagers from Vinch, and from there, just the map control won it for him, because, you know, he was able to secure those additional gold spots, and that's one of the things about this map. These tiny gold spots all over the place. Like I said, there's a lot of gold, but if you don't have map control, it's going to be very difficult to take it in peace, take it safely. And you saw SeOul a lot of that game hitting and running certain areas of the map. He's had half his army on the right, half on the left, and Vinchester just didn't have enough units to cover all angles. So well played by SeOul there. A good win for him.